So if you listen to Markiplier's recent Distractable podcast, Hills That You Will Die On, or some shit like that, or Hill I Will Die On, Markiplier makes a very strong claim that Stadia is even worth thinking about, worth buying, let alone thinking about. And I would agree with you if we were back in time where it was not even out yet. I was all over that. I saw that concept and the trailers, the teasers, blah blah blah. I was super hyped. I was 100% ready to buy like 6 of them and give them away to my friends because it was really so awesome. But when it released, I did not believe that all the games I've ever wanted could fit onto that tiny little device. I was about to buy it too. It was in my cart, about to purchase. And I'm looking at this device, I'm just like, there's no way that 16 terabytes of games can fit onto that little thing. 16 plus just infinity, whatever, yeah. That seems stupid. So I looked into it. And in my blind excitement and hype, I failed to realize that connection to the internet is required. And I was thinking it was the opposite, where download a couple games, and then when you're off the grid or somewhere there's such shitty service that even streaming a 120 pixel video would be impossible, you could just play GTA there because it's all not wired, like not internet, it's on the device, like a console. That's not the case. You need it because that little thing acts as a, connects you to where the games actually are. So I have, and probably over 3/4 of the world don't have use for it. Markiplier was wondering why people don't buy it. Well, I'm wondering why you, Markiplier, haven't. You have a monster PC, PlayStation, and an Xbox. Why would you need Stadia? You have 3 amazing choices to play games with, like half to 0 latency of Stadia. There's a lot of ands, ifs, or buts that I went through before I hit record, but it all sums up to you don't need Stadia, and neither do I, and neither does anybody else. Because there's only one circumstance that I can see someone buying Stadia, is that they're so horribly poor that they can't even afford the space to have a gaming setup, let alone even having one. Like, let's say you could only rent a closet to have all of your stuff, and you shit in a bucket, and you don't even have room for a TV and a gaming console, and you have a phone. That's like the only situation you need Stadia. I was thinking, because there was a camping trip coming up back then, and I was like, dude, I should totally buy Stadia. I could take GTA camping. So after we do our camping stuff and activities, we're in our tents, about to hit the hay, I could play GTA. No internet required. And as anyone who knows Stadia, that's obviously not the case. So the thing that I was most excited about Stadia, turns out that I fooled myself. Stupid. I was stupid about it. And the one thing I wanted Stadia to do is the thing that they didn't do. So Stadia is literally useless. And if you need it for, let's say, your gaming setup's upstairs in your office, Markiplier, and you want to game on the couch, move one of your probably 4 or 5 systems, like Xboxes or PlayStations, to your living room, and you can play there. Better, I was going to start pointing out, just better everything. It's better in every way. If you're at home Just use your existing system. It's better in every way. Stadia is literally useless. And Markiplier, in his podcast, Distractable podcast, he was wondering why no one wanted it. Well, here it is. Like, no one needs Stadia. It's the one thing that Stadia had going for it, I thought had going for it, was never even going to be a concept. Like, able to let's say there's a power outage, and I wanted to play GTA. I would quickly, my iPad, boom, play, wait till it powers back on, play until my PlayStation TV had power again. Going camping, what I wanted to do. Going camping, put the iPad, battery bank for the iPad, and then the Stadia inside my suitcase. There, I can game while camping. Don't even need Wi-Fi. That's what I thought Stadia was. Horribly mistaken. Almost wasted my money. I'm rambling now. I'm just repeating what I'm saying now. Long story short, Markiplier, you're wrong. And you can die on that hill. No one's going to be sorry. I'm a huge fan of Markiplier. Cannot wait till Markiplier Space comes out. But you're just horribly wrong about Stadia. You do not need it. And neither do I. And neither does 80 to 1,000,000% of the human population. It is no wonder why Stadia is. I've forgotten all about it. Literally, until I watched your listened to your podcast, it was not even in my memory, let alone my thoughts. And I guarantee you, about 3 to 17 billion, trillion, gazillion people on the planet think the same thing. But I want to know, why do you use Stadia? That's what I want to know. Why does Markiplier use Stadia? He doesn't need it. Like, there's a very, very few uses for Stadia that are not even worth mentioning, let alone not even worth having the system in the first place. That's how much of a waste of money it is. While I'm rambling here, I've been trying to think of actual uses for Stadia, and I can't think of nothing. If you're watching this, please let me know, if you have Stadia, why do you use Stadia? I want to know. I actually want to know what uses Stadia has, other than the few ones that I can probably think off the top of my head. For example, you go to your friend's place and you want to play a game together, and your friend has Wi-Fi, obviously. Who doesn't these days? I mean, whatever. And you all have Stadia, you all hook it up, you all sit in a circle and then play. Yeah, I guess. But I have a PlayStation with 4 controllers, do the same thing on a bigger screen with no latency. So I guess even the one example I just found, yeah, Stadia is useless there too. Everything else does it better. Maybe if I was in the middle of gaming and I was called down for dinner. But if you're playing games on the table, that's just rude. What if you live by yourself then? Well, then you just quickly eat and go back to gaming. Yeah. Never mind. I guess no. Those are the couple of reasons I was thinking of, but Stadia is just outperformed by everything. It's literally joined the console race, last place, and it's staying last place until they do the magical thing and make it so I can play whatever game I want completely offline, which is what I thought was the biggest thing about it. Turns out that wasn't even a thing in the first place. But if they do that, then I'll buy Stadia. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are on the same boat as me. So which leads me back to what I started with. Markiplier. Why do you have Stadia? I want to know your reasoning behind it. I'm hurting my brain just thinking about it. You are a smart person. Why are you being not smart about it? Tell me, please. I actually legitimately want to know your reasoning. I listened to your podcast, and as far as I can, you lost me. I don't know. I don't want to talk about this. My break is almost over. Oh, for example, I'm here at work. My Wi-Fi here, the Wi-Fi they have at work, not even good enough for most YouTube videos, let alone streaming a game that you need reaction time for. It'd be great if I could play Ghost of Tsushima, whatever how to pronounce that, here, right now, literally right now, for my break, offline. That would be great. I would have so much use for Stadia if that offline play was the main thing about Stadia, which it's not. I am so happy that I did not buy Stadia that day. I'm glad that I snapped out of it. But I want to know why Markiplier, you, and probably very few people think Stadia is good. I don't actually think anyone thinks that. Anyone who actually has a brain thinks that. But I want to know. If you see this Markiplier, please leave a comment going into extreme detail on why you think Stadia is worth even thinking about, let alone buying. Can't wait for In Space with Markiplier though. Cannot wait. I am super hyped for that.